There's old Mount Tom and some of the other Sierra Nevada. Here we are at the Laws Museum. I think it's kind of focused on railroad stuff, is it not?
And mining.
Railroad and mining. So this is the Carson and Colorado Depot. That was the original depot for Laws, California, and it's still here, and I believe it's still in the same place.
Telegraph office.
Yep, this is the telegraph office. So here's your waiting room. Here, yep, here was the ticket booth. Here's the baggage room. Look at all the old cases. We had one like that, didn't we?
Yeah.
We gave it to a friend of ours who was an enthusiast about the cases. Funny slogans there. Look at all the old lanterns. Look at the old scale there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. This is the general store.
The general store. There's your old can collection.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Look at all the old stuff. I wish I could run across some of those old cans and storage boxes.
The crab cheese.
Look at the old skis up there. And the snowshoes. Look at the big can of chewing tobacco.
I know.
Wow, that's a pretty big supply of it. Old safe. So here's the Western display with all the saddles. Wall of horseshoes of different styles and sizes. And then all the brands. Look at all the different branding irons. And saddles. And chaps. Look at those old vintage chaps. It'd be cool to have some of those in it. That's a little weird.
They're born dead.
Oh, they have a face on each side. So this was the Laws Post Office. The last original Laws Post Office. All the post office boxes.
It's like a combo.
Yeah, you get a combination to your box. This is the Schoolhouse. We have lanterns and cook stoves and heating stoves.
Oh, that's nice.
Probably some of those were kerosene, the smaller ones. Here's the print shop. So that number 5 is an engraving machine. This is a hand printing press. Looks like another press. All the files of type back there, I'm sure. Oh yeah, there's the old adding machines, typewriters. Interesting. This is the Pioneer Building. Rifles and pistols. Those top ones were laying out in the weeds for a while, weren't they? And some nice knives. Look at the one with the bayonet on there, man. Lots of ammo boxes too, old ones. Some neat knives. It's quite a museum. There must be an aviator suit, that warm one, huh?
Looks like it.
The floor's a little creaky, that's what you're hearing. Some sewing machines. A couple of pianos.
Mandolin.
Small guitar. And a couple of horns. The penny farthing bike. And the old radios. That's looking across at the old depot again. And we have a train out here too, it looks like. The Slim Princess. That's a 1947 white, the first truck purchased by the Bishop Rural Fire Protection District, and was in service until the early 90s. Wow.
I know.
Really? It hasn't been out of service that long. 47 to 90, that's pretty good. Here it is. Here's the medical offices building. Here's the barber shop. Oh, no, this is the dentist. No, this is the barber shop.
It's a barber.
Looks like a dentist chair.
I know.
Oh, there you go, Julie.
I know.
Right up your alley.
There's a lensometer. It's a lensometer and there's a...
Here are all the actual glasses. There are your lenses, or your... Is that the corrective lenses back there? The box?
Loose lenses to test you.
Right, for testing.
Yeah.
And here are the
Instruments to when you make
instruments to make glasses, okay. Okay, here's the doctor's office. All the medical books and journals they reference. The exam table. Medicine cabinet. All the other instruments. Oh, here's the dentist chair. Bzzz. Oh, here's the pharmacy. Look at that. Here's the textile building. Here's your dressmaker. The beauty salon. Look at the old hair curlers.
I know.
Isn't that crazy? Look at that curling machine. Here's the agent's house. So every agent lived in this house. So they lived here until 1960, from when it was built in 1883. Here's the laundry. So 1913 the kitchen was added. Got the well pump right there. Little ice box. Nice fancy cook stove. So that kind of winds up the row of general interest buildings, garage, medical offices. Here's the rail yard. Train again. Nice view of the mountain. That's looking down towards Big Pine. Here's the engine house. $1875. Alright, let's cross the track. Looks both ways. Boy, look at the mountains down there. There's a grader. That's a big skid of some sort. Look at that thing. Boy, is that heavy duty. That might be for skidding logs or something. Look at the size of the chains on there. Wow, huh?
Look at that.
I know. That's a chain. So this is the Waterwheel building. Oh, there's the wellhead. So this is original that supplied water to these tanks over here. Oh, that's the tram drive? Oh, I see. Yeah, I get it. Oh, this was to the tongue star.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. We were just up there. Well, we didn't get up to there, but we saw the tram. Here's an arrastra. Another way to grind ore. Simple type of mill. So this is a mock-up of a head frame and a hoist. So here's your engine that would run the hoist. Gasoline engine. And it would go up the top of the head frame on this inclined shaft and pull this ore cart up, or they call it a skip. So they would pull that car all the way up the head frame here until it got up to the top, and then it would dump and hit the chute into the loading carts or loading bin, whichever you had. Okay, this was the drill sharpening station where they had a vise and a little forge here with a hand powered blower and a water bucket to quench it to re-temper it. And they had all their tools over here that they use to sharpen the drill bits. They'd resharpen these. And then they would retemper them. Okay, over here is a mock-up of a mine. Oh, they're drilling in there.
Fire in the hole! Fire in the hole!
Ore carts come out of the mine on the tracks, up into the mill. And that was powered by a big hit and miss engine. Here's the mill. So this is where it comes in the raw form into the jaw crusher there. Then you go over here to the roll crusher. Goes up those little teeny buckets. Dumps into the hopper. The feeder. And then the stamp mill goes from 1 inch to dust. And this is what you end up with. So here we are looking at a Fairbanks-morse hit and miss 15 horsepower gasoline engine. What year would this be from, Ron?
1912.
1912.
4-cycle. This is compression.
That's smooth as silk, isn't it? There she goes. Isn't that something?
Now, once you got it running, this is our clutch. And the whole thing doesn't run, but a little bit of it does. So you get the idea. Call a Jaeger. It was made by Hercules. See the one behind you? That's a Hercules. Hercules made this. Anytime you find an engine badged as a Jaeger, you know it came off a cement mixer. It likes to be flooded when it starts.
There she goes. Yep.
Saw. Go ahead.
So here's the miner's cabin. Got their little cook stove. Yep, that's an ice chest, not a refrigerator.
Ice chest.
A bathhouse.
Clean water extra.
And the outhouse.
Oh boy. Look at that.
Hmm?
I said, look at that.
Yeah. You got your own light, wood stove. The Silver Canyon Saloon. Belly up. Sawdust on the floor. Poker table. Pretty neat. The big Jim Beam bottle.
Can I get you?
What size is that sign, huh?
I know.
That's with the old glass. How big these letters are. All the glass is gone. Look at all the planes up there, those old wood planes. Here's the blacksmith shop. Here's his forge. Look at the big bellows.
I know. Look at all them over here.
Wow. Oh yeah, some more over here.
Look at this tool for the horseshoes too.
We had to bend it. Mm-hmm. Here's the wagon display. This ought to be interesting.
Here's the chuck wagon.
Hay wagon. Freight wagon.
Look at the size of this brake.
I know. I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm. What was that one used for? That's a heavy freight wagon, I think.
Look at the side things.
Yeah, that's for heavy freight. Yeah, huh?
This is a 1918 Samson Civ Grip tractor.
What kind?
Civ Grip, Samson
Sieve grip?
Civ Grip tractor.
Oh, maybe that's because of the way the tires, the steel
It's an
wheels work.
extremely rare example of this type of tractor. There are only 6 of them documented in the United States and Canada.
Only 6 of these, huh?
This is the most original equipment.
So that's a pretty special one. Levi Strauss. There's a nice gazebo just outside of the schoolhouse. West Bishop School, 1914. Here's the classroom. I will not talk in class. Okay, we're getting on the train. Ooh, a nice wood stove
Shower.
and sink. So that's the Slim Princess. The Southern Pacific narrow gauge locomotive. Oh boy, you better know your valves.
When's the turn?
You better know your valves to run this baby. Ringing the bell. Ooh, those are loud. Look at the size of the bells.
Wells Fargo building.
Oh, this is part of a movie set.
Starring Steve McQueen.
Oh, huh. Got some nice collections of things, that's for sure. Look at the arrowheads. Wow. Fancy.
Isn't that cool?
What?
How old they are.
I wonder how they know that. I guess they do, though. I never thought an arrowhead in my entire life. Probably stepped on one.
I'm sure.
Oh, those are drills. Tie it on the end of a stick and make a hand drill. Here's the engineer's tools for making their drawings. Their slide rules, their survey instruments, some of the testing stuff, your carbide lights, and all the minerals. This is the bottle house, home of the postmistress. Look at the blue bottles. Well, let's see, how many of those have we had? Not too many, actually.
Of course.
Look at all the bottles. Every color and all the purple ones. We see a lot of the purple glass when we're out hiking, but we don't see any full bottles. I think they're all here. Oh, so that fades with the sun. Is that what they're saying?
Sun colored.
Oh, no, it gets more colored with the sun.
Yeah.
Those big crocs down there.
Look at these little alcohol bottles.
Cobalt blue bottles.
They're so cute.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man, they got the bottles, don't they? All my life I've been wanting to find an insulator, and now I know they're all here. That's why I can't find any.
Look at these Coca-Cola
These are
bottles
all-
have states on the bottom of them. This is Bishop, California. There.
These are all fancy booze bottles.
Mm-hmm.
These are Coke bottles?
Yeah, with the different states on the bottom of each of them.
Okay, I guess this is just a house. Not just a house, but an old house. Built in 1914 by the James Shaw family. Located on a ranch in Bishop. Oh boy. The old radio.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what you call that thing.
Yeah, I know. I can't
Is that where you take you put your shoes on and take your jacket off and hang it up and put your shoes in the box? That's a Westinghouse? Oh, that's an electric range, isn't it? An oven. Is that an electric refrigerator too, or is that still an ice box? Must be electric with the deal up on top.